My friends, do you ever feel that the world grows more chaotic with each passing year? That the advance of technology both empowers us yet makes life ever more complex? I too have wrestled with such thoughts in my solitary musings. You see, I strive to cultivate wisdom wherever the tangled vines of fate may lead me. I immerse myself in the study of cybersecurity to guard the vulnerable as quantum's double-edged sword is forged. I delved into the intricacies of blockchain to ensure financial access for all global citizens in the coming era of disruption. And beyond the headlines boasting economic impact, my mind returned time and again to the human consequences. Forgive my moment of somber reflection, but I cannot shake the immense responsibility that shall soon rest upon our shoulders. Power and wisdom must be balanced as humanity hurtles toward an inflection point. Technological promise must not blind us to societal peril. But that's precisely why I stand before you today, my friends, because I believe together we can chart a new course. For in you, I see glimmers of the extraordinary, rising to meet the future, not with naive optimism or cynical withdrawal, but with compassion's grace to build the world anew. This is Clayton Lindbergh extending an open hand, inviting you to join me on this endless adventure called life. The present moment overflows with challenges awaiting our uniquely human gifts. Shall we embrace them together? I haven't always found it easy to open myself up to others. A wanderer by nature, I often preferred my own company on long solitary journeys of discovery, rather than risk the painful barbs that accompany vulnerability. But an unexpected occurrence shifted my perspective forever. My friends, shall I let you in on a secret I have shared with few souls until now? Many years ago, as an impassioned yet troubled youth, I stared into an abyss of despair wrought by callous indifference to suffering permeating society. Hardened hearts sowed seeds of anger and cynicism within me. But that pivotal night, instead of teetering over the edge into darkness, I collapsed in tears, grieving the loss of hope itself. In that barren valley, where shards of idealism lay shattered, a subtle light penetrated my gloom. I glimpsed generations past who faced seemingly insurmountable injustices, yet gathered courage enough to take steps, however faltering, toward freedom. And I realized then that hope arises not from denying anguish, but affirming inextinguishable human dignity, willing broken vessels into wholeness. I pledged myself that very night to truth and reconciliation's winding path, to see beyond surfaces into the deepest bonds transcending time and space that weave our inescapable interdependence. Instead of merely railing against broken systems, I vowed to grasp the thread of loving connection, undergirding reality, and gently mend what once seemed irreparably torn asunder. And from the depths of despair sprouted redemption's first tender shoots, as I discovered the catalyst for change permeating all things. Even an anguished boy who confronted rather than fled despair. What emerged was a compassion that dispels illusions of separation, conferring upon humble instruments the immense responsibility and honor of elevating all creation. Many seasons hence here I stand before you, my friends, a tentative warrior with weapons of wisdom and fellowship forged in compassion's fire, daring you to believe that our yearning for justice and unity harbors power to transform more than we dare imagine. What say you? Shall we see what love unleashed can achieve? I aim to equip us through a conceptual portal into the very fabric of reality, revealed by physics, manipulatable not by material might, but matrices of intention and understanding. All right, first up, Koibo's quadratic, unconstrained binary optimization models are useful for a wide range of practical problems. At their core, Koibos provide a flexible framework for representing complex decision-making scenarios as numerical objective functions to be minimized or maximized. For instance, business cases like supply chain design, financial portfolio structuring, and molecular folding often involve lots of interdependent trade-offs around resource costs and operational constraints. Koibos let you translate these complex relationships into basic mathematical variables and inequalities captured through scalar coefficients and exponents. This means software algorithms can rapidly explore massive permutations that would overwhelm human analysts, By scaffolding problem semantics into computable quadratic polynomial forms, the doors open to numerically navigating immense solution spaces. Next, Ising models. Originally developed to study atomic magnetism, Ising frameworks have proven generically useful for capturing the essence of decision problems. The key insight involves expressing issues in terms of positive and negative variable spin states, coupled through weighted affinities. In our supply chain example, distribution center locations may take values north or south. Production site roles could stand in for spin up or down. Modeling geographic and logistic interdependencies as weighted edges then allows algorithmically deducing optimal partisan assignments across the supply network. Casting problems as Ising spin glasses thereby permits algorithmic inference, deriving globally consistent conclusions from local interaction rules. Statistical physics meshes variables and couplings, establishing mathematical conduits for automated reasoning. Finally, quantum annealing leverages intrinsic quantum processing capabilities for navigating these combinatorial spaces. By literally enacting decision variable superpositions and entanglements within delicately tuned quantum architectures, nature herself computes solutions. Rather than brute force evaluation, adiabatic thermal transitions focus interference toward emergent crystallization, extracted as output spin configurations. Quantum tunneling provides phase transition shortcuts to traverse hindering barriers. Innate quantum dynamics thus directly mimic computation. Hopefully that gave an initial bird's eye view without overcomplicating things. Let me know if any part needs more detail or real-world examples to cement the concepts. We've only just begun this optimization odyssey. Classification of optimization problems. While the general form of an optimization problem is straightforward, there exist different subclasses used to categorize problems based on the types of variables, objective functions, and constraints involved. Three key ways of classifying optimization problems include continuous versus discrete problems. Continuous problems involve real value decision variables that can take on infinite, uncountable number of possible values. For example, optimizing production quantities or shipping volumes involves continuous variables that could be any non-negative real number. By contrast, discrete problems restrict variables to take on only integer values or to choose from a finite, countable set of options. Scheduling problems often involve discrete start time decision variables. Inventory models may restrict order quantities to integer values. Discrete problems simplify analysis but reduce expressive power. Many real systems involve both continuous and discrete elements, leading to challenging mixed integer programming problems. Special solution techniques like branch and bound combine continuous relaxation with constraints enforcing discreteness, linear versus nonlinear problems. An optimization problem is considered linear if the objective function facts and all constraint functions are linear functions of the decision variables. The standard form of a linear program, MICOXY, subject, NDB, X, E, double, CMIT. Here, CCMB are vectors and A is a matrix. Linearity enables powerful solution techniques like the simplex algorithm. Nonlinear programs involve objectives or constraints with higher order variable dependencies. A quadratic program minimizes a quadratic objective function. Constraints may involve polynomial, exponential, trigonometric, or other nonlinear functions of decision variables. Specialized nonlinear solvers use derivative information, approximation, and other techniques. However, nonlinearity increases problem complexity and the risk of getting stuck in local optima, constrained versus unconstrained. In constrained problems, restrictions on variables appear through linear, nonlinear, or other feasibility constraints, excluding unacceptable solutions. Shipping route capacity constraints demonstrate linear constraints. Requiring product purity demonstrates a non-linear constraint. In contrast, unconstrained problems have objectives dependent only on decision variables without auxiliary constraints. For example, maximizing profit using a known profit function with no other restrictions. Unconstrained problems simplify analysis but cannot exclude undesirable solutions. Real problems often involve key constraints. Understanding different problem classifications provides insight into appropriate analysis and solution techniques. Mathematical modeling must balance expressiveness with solvability, classifying an optimization problem by characteristics of variables. Objectives and constraints constitutes a key first step toward solving decision versus optimization problems. Two fundamental types of mathematical problems are decision problems and optimization problems. Though related, these problem classes have distinct forms, solution goals, and theoretical analysis frameworks. Understanding key differences between decision and optimization problems provides insight into algorithm design and performance evaluation techniques. Decision problems. A decision problem seeks a yes or no answer to whether a solution meets given criteria. Decision problems ask questions. Does the graph have a vertex cover of size less than 5? Can this set of jobs be scheduled without conflict on two machines? Does a tour cost less than 100 exist for this traveling salesman? The solution to a decision problem is binary or categorical rather than numerically evaluative. Provides yes/no answers or classifies solutions as either feasible or infeasible. No ranking of quality among feasible solutions exists. Complexity analysis of decision problems centers around verifying solutions in polynomial time. Decision problems residing in complexity class NP have solutions easily checkable in polynomial time, given the right certificate. Optimization problems. Unlike decision problems, optimization problems aim to find the best solution according to an objective function that assigns numerical values representing solution quality. Optimization problems maximize profit given fixed costs and price parameters. Minimize shipping costs given transportation link options. Shortest path between specified vertices. Lowest make span schedule meeting all constraints. Rather than just checking feasibility, optimization ranks solutions by numeric objective value and finds the optimal choice. Improving objective value often conflicts with maintaining feasibility. Relationship between decisions and optimization. Optimization problems inherently subsume decision problems. One can cast a decision problem as an optimization problem by assigning feasible solutions an objective value of 0 and infeasible ones a value of 1, then minimizing the objective. A resulting value of 0 implies a yes decision answer, while a 1 returns a no. Similarly, optimization problems can be transformed into decision problems by querying whether a solution with a given cost or better exists. Despite such connections, the analysis frameworks differ significantly, optimization focusing on efficient quality maximization and decision problems analyzing verifiability. In summary, though connected, decision and optimization problems have distinct goals, answer types, analysis frameworks. Optimization involves evaluative ranking of alternatives rather than binary feasible checking, underscoring the need for tailored techniques, complexity theory background. To analyze the inherent difficulty of optimization problems, computer scientists use complexity theory to formally characterize issues like computational time and memory consumption. Understanding key complexity classes like P and NP, along with NP hardness and NP completeness, provides critical foundations for exploring the limits and potential of various optimization techniques. Time complexity. The time complexity of an algorithm counts the number of elementary computational steps required as input size increases. This measures computational speed. As problems scale in size, execution time may grow dramatically. Complexities are classified by asymptotic notae. Wigner characterizes worst case upper bounds, big omega lower bounds, and big theta type bounds. These formalize how running time scale asymptotically with input size. For instance, linear search has on worst case time, while binary search achieves all on quadratic, and exponential time complexities characterize slower growth rates that threaten feasibility for large inputs. Space complexity. Alongside execution time, space complexity measures the memory resources algorithms require. Specific metrics include peak memory needed over all steps or usage at particular algorithmic stages. As for time, Space complexities use asymptotic notation to characterize growth rates with input size. Careful analysis of time and space complexities provides deep insight into optimization problem and algorithm scalability. P and NP. Within complexity theory, class P contains decision problems with algorithms giving yes, answers in polynomial time based on input size n. Problems in P scale efficiently, like sorting O log n or matrix. The more expansive class NP includes all problems with solutions verifiable in polynomial time. NP subsumes P, as easy verification implies easy solving. Thousands of problems in NP remain with no known fast-solving algorithm. Cook-Levin theorem, a seminal 1971 result. This theorem proved NP-hard problems like Boolean satisfiability could verify solutions to any problem in NP in polynomial time, showing NP-hard problems are at least as hard as any in NPE, laid foundations for NP completeness as a hardness notion. NP-hard and NP-complete. NP-hard problems have verifiers, but no known polynomial time solvers. NP-complete problems form the hardest NP-hard subset with the extra constraint that they reside in NP. That is, they have easy solution checkers. Thousands of important problems across fields prove NP-complete, like scheduling, network design, and integer programming. In summary, complexity theory provides formal techniques like asymptotic analysis for classifying optimization problems by time, space use, and computational difficulty thresholds. Understanding relationships between key classes like EPN and NP-complete forms a critical foundation when assessing problem hardness and algorithm prospects. Techniques for NP-hard problems. NP-hard optimization problems lack known efficient solving algorithms. Yet for important problems like scheduling, the traveling salesman problem, and integer programming, solutions remain needed despite hardness barriers. 4 approaches grant tractability. Complete search. Complete algorithms exhaustively enumerate all possible solutions, evaluating each to find the optimum. While conceptually simple, enumeration complexity often grows exponentially with inputs threatening feasibility. Pruning methods selectively eliminate fruitless branches from the exhaustive search tree, based on bounds, thereby reducing average case time. Still, worst case complexity remains exponential without additional strategies. Greedy algorithms. Greedy methods operate in localized, myopic fashion, sequentially making the choice maximizing the immediate, narrow benefit. For scheduling, this fills the earliest finishing next job first. For knapsack problems, sorting by value to weight density works well. Greedy algorithms efficiently compute, but struggle to assess broader, long-term impact of choices. Local optima need not coincide with global ones. Randomization and restarts help avoid poor local decisions. Dynamic programming. This approach systematically catches intermediate results, avoiding redundant repeated computations by solving problem stages recursively. Key principles are optimal substructure. Larger problem optima contain smaller problem optima and overlapping subproblems. For example, shortest path routes decompose into linked optimal subpath routes. Careful ordering of recursive solving prevents duplicative solving of common subpaths across paths. This polynomial time savings comes at a polynomial space cost for storing intermediate results. Branch and bound divides problems into smaller subproblems in tree form, bounding the objective values achievable within each subtree. Branches exceeding known global bounds get pruned, reducing the search space. Reality constraints commonly motivate branch and bound, with continuous linear programming relaxations providing bounds, often combined with cutting planes and heuristics for efficiency. In summary, practical handling of NP-hard problems relies crucially on strategies narrowing the solution search scope. These tackle exponential worst-case complexity through pruning, greedy choices, dynamic programming, and branch elimination. Hybrid approaches further boost tractability. Approximation algorithms. Unable to efficiently find globally optimal solutions for many NP-hard problems, approximation algorithms provide near-optimal quality solutions in polynomial time. Trading off perfect accuracy for improved scalability, These practical methods have formal quality guarantees relative to true optima. Formal definition. Approximation algorithms seek solutions with objective values within defined factor ratios of the elusive true optima. AR approximation has cost no more than R times the optimal cost for minimization problems, or achieves at least n times optimal profit for maximization. Absolute approximation error measures compare algorithm objective values to global optima. Approximation factors relate solution quality to the best possible, while still running efficiently in polynomial time. Design technique. Many techniques restrict relaxed problem formulations to enable simplification, while still modeling essential complicating constraints. Solving relaxed linear programs grants bounds along with potentially useful solutions. Randomization incorporates stochastic elements into algorithm design. Probabilistic optimization methods sample solutions randomly using statistics to identify high-quality outcomes. Randomization provides robustness while maintaining efficiency, hardness of approximation. Just as achieving global optima often proves, NP-hard, finding good approximate solutions for some problems also demonstrates surprising difficulty. Gap problems with large separations between best and worst case instances illustrate such hardness of approximation. Complexity class apps contains NP-hard problems admitting polynomial time approximation scheme. Algorithms tunably close to optimal for any error tolerance. However, some foreboding problems remain NP-hard to approximate within any reasonable factor. In summary, sacrificing perfect accuracy for reliability and speed, approximation algorithms incorporate analytical relaxations and randomization for addressing otherwise intractable optimization problems. The extent of achievable approximation continues as an active research area with deep theoretical connections. Local search methods. Local search pursues cost improvements through iterative exploration of solution neighborhoods. Unlike systematic or random surveys, local search analyzes landscapes more intelligently to efficiently descend toward optima. Key concepts include elementary landscapes, visualizing objective functions as landscapes depicts costs across a solution space. Local minima sit inside basins surrounded by rising barrier walls. Global minimum visually appears as the lowest point reachable. Plateaus present flat regions with no meaningful navigation gradient. Multimodality shows many repeated rises and dips. Real objective functions demonstrate messy landscapes with difficult terrain. Neighborhood structure. Central to local search is the neighbor definition specifying allowable solution perturbations. Common structures include swap-forth neighborhoods for permutations, Flyvtagel filters for binary representations, and ball radii for continuous problems. Choice of neighborhood scale balance is local versus global scope. Small nearby perturbations enable refined local improvements, but risk missing distal optima. Broader movements jump around more freely at cost of detailed gradient descent. Local optimality. Iteratively applying cost-reducing perturbations eventually reaches bases inside basins, with no improving neighbors, local minima. Such points satisfy local optimality criteria, yet need not coincide with the global optimum. Formal convergence proofs analyze systematic descent guarantees. Random restarts provide robustness when struggling to escape basin confinement. Broad neighborhood definitions also mitigate local entrapment. Meta-heuristics. High-level methodological frameworks enhancing local search include tabby search, prohibiting recent moves to encourage exploration, and simulated annealing, allowing uphill steps probabilistically like thermal excitations for avoiding local traps. Automatically tuning parameter settings online via machine learning further enhances meta-heuristic performance. Overall, local search forms a versatile optimization technique, leveraging problem structure beyond generic black box methods. Evolutionary methods, inspired by biological evolution, population-based evolutionary algorithms, apply survival of the fittest principles to iteratively improve candidate optimization solutions. Key mechanisms include genetic algorithms, like biological reproduction. Genetic algorithms involve fitness-based parent selection, recombining their genetic material via crossover, and random mutation of such inherited genomes. Selectively propagating fitter individuals enables improving optimization. Typical binary string chromosome representations prove intuitive but limit precision. Integer and permutation representations enhance modeling applicability for problems like scheduling. Custom-tailored chromosome encodings binds models more closely to problem structure. Theory. While early fixation on biological metaphors motivated genetic algorithm design, deeper probabilistic modeling better explains their optimization efficacy. The schema theorem describes how short, low-order, high-performance solution substructures called building blocks get exponentially propagated across populations. Rather than precise gene equivalence, explicitly modeling problem regularities and formulation biases search toward fruitful regions, funneling optimization efficiently. This building block hypothesis helped shift evolutionary algorithm focus toward tighter problem integration. Overall, evolutionary algorithms provide versatile, readily parallelized global search with mechanisms promoting exploration and exploitation. Whether using biological statistical perspectives, the population-based adaptive search they provide helps address challenging optimization arenas, including NP-hard problems. Benchmarks and performance. Rigorously assessing optimization software performance requires standardized problem testbeds and statistical validation. Key considerations include problem instances. Algorithm evaluation relies critically on problem instance test sets exhibiting diverse difficulty, structure, and scale. Random instances provide unbiased general assessment, while real-world and intentionally adversarial cases evaluate robustness. Automated instance generators finely control parameters like constraint densities and objective complexities. Ensemble approaches leverage multiple complementary generators to provide thorough benchmarking. Performance metrics. Quantifying optimization efficacy requires precise numerical measures. Metrics like percent optimality gap or solution cost ratios enable comparison across problem types. Decision problem metrics consider solution feasibility. Anytime analysis tracks solution measures over run duration. Performance profiles visualize across wider algorithm and parameter choices. Multi-objective problems utilize dominance rankings or hypervolume measures. Statistical analysis. SAN benchmarking employs hypothesis testing to formally assess average case distinctions between methods. Null hypotheses assume equal performance absent evidence. Tests quantifying variability in objective values across problem samples provide rigorous comparisons. Confidence intervals indicate significance levels alongside effect sizes characterizing empirical distinctions. Stratification techniques help disambiguate subtle contextual performance differences hidden in aggregate measures. Overall, robust optimization algorithm evaluation couples standardized, diverse problem sets with multifaceted performance metrics and statistical tests quantifying operational distinctions. Careful benchmark design ensures reproducibility and research rigor. Benchmarks and performance. Rigorously assessing optimization software performance requires standardized problem testbeds and statistical validation. Key considerations include problem instances. Algorithm evaluation relies critically on problem instance test sets exhibiting diverse difficulty, structure, and scale. Random instances provide unbiased general assessment, while real-world and intentionally adversarial cases evaluate robustness. Automated instance generators finely control parameters like constraint densities and objective complexities. Ensemble approaches leverage multiple complementary generators to provide thorough benchmarking. For example, traveling salesman problem generators control edge, cost distributions, graph densities, cluster patterns, and precise optimal solutions. Together, such test sets assess across the problem space. Performance metric. Quantifying optimization efficacy requires precise numerical measures. Metrics like percent optimality gap or solution cost ratios enable comparison across problem types. Decision problem metrics consider solution feasibility. Anytime analysis tracks solution measures over run duration, assessing both efficiency and progress rate. Performance profiles visualize across wider algorithm and parameter choices on a benchmark set. Multi-objective problems utilize dominance, rankings, or hypervolume measures. Statistical analysis. Sound benchmarking employs hypothesis testing to formally assess average case distinctions between methods. Null hypotheses assume equal performance absent evidence. Tests quantifying variability in objective values across problem samples provide rigorous comparison. Confidence intervals indicate significance levels alongside effect sizes characterizing empirical distinctions. Stratification techniques help disambiguate subtle contextual performance differences hidden in aggregate measures. Overall, robust optimization algorithm evaluation couples standardize diverse problem sets with multifaceted performance metrics and statistical tests quantifying operational distinctions. Careful benchmark design ensures reproducibility and research rigor. Software tools. Applying optimization algorithms to practical problems requires numerical modeling and programming environments integrating solvers. Key capabilities include optimization modeling. Algebraic modeling languages like AMPL and GAMES provide high-level declarative problem specifications independent of solvers. These simplify model construction for linear, integer, nonlinear programs without low-law coding. Model parameterizations and data-driven table definitions facilitate reuse and adaptation. Libraries of common constraint templates boost productivity. Model visualizers and diagnostics help verify correct formulation. Solvers. Industrial strength solvers like CPLEX efficiently solve model instantiations. LFIP solvers handle linear programs and mixed integer variants. MinLP solvers allow nonlinear expressions and constraints. Specialized solvers address problems with structure like network, flow, or quadratic objective. Modeling systems interface solver executions, automatically selecting appropriate specialized engines while allowing programmatic solver configuration and tuning. Development environment. Frameworks like JMP within Julia, Pymo for Python, and OpenSolver for Mari ease embedding optimization modeling within full-featured programming languages for greater control over indexing, experiment flows, and integration. Hybrid environments. Leverage mathematical modeling simplicity with lower-level code extensibility. Extensive libraries further boost prototyping and deployment. Overall, integrated modeling and computational frameworks streamline applying sophisticated optimization engines to real problems. Component architecture and declarative modeling avoid solver algorithmic detail. Optimization applications. Beyond mathematical analysis, optimization drives progress across application domains by enabling efficient resource allocation under constraints. High-impact areas include operations research, scheduling coordinated usage of limited people, equipment, and facilities inherently involves optimizing resource assignments and sequencing to minimize time spans subject to temporal capacity and dependency restrictions. Vehicle routing applications assign customer visits to trucks seeking shortest routes through traffic satisfying individual vehicle capacity limits. Efficient logistics saves costs. Machine learning, model selection, and hyperparameter tuning procedurally seek highest prediction accuracy models using optimization. Regularization elicits smooth, generalizable models by optimally balancing under and overfitting. Architecture search automatically explores neural network layer topologies through connection pruning and growth optimization. Data augmentation tuning identifies optimal training set expansion, lowering generalization error. Engineering. In circuit layout, component site assignment, optimization minimizes wire lengths and delays within confined die space. Analog filter tuning optimization adjusts values within precision limits to achieve frequency response specifications. In bioinformatics, protein structure prediction optimization sews together low-energy configurations from small fragment libraries into valid, stable TC folds. Drug design optimizes candidate binding affinities. Across fields, complex design tasks. Integrate domain expertise within optimization frameworks, balancing constraints, priorities, and trade-offs. This achieves efficient, customized systems vital for competitive advantage. Optimization provides a versatile substrate for configuring effective solutions. Graph terminology. Fundamental to discussing graph partitioning problems like MaxCut is a common vocabulary for describing graphical structures and properties. We introduce key concepts and descriptors here. Vertan edge definitions. Graphs comprise discrete entities called vertices, also nodes, going together by connections named edges, ek, lang. Edges may be one-way directed or bidirectional undirected. Weights indicating strengths or costs often associate with edges. Together, vertices and undirected edges form simple underlying scaffolds, abstractly modeling relationship networks. The vocabulary aids applying graph theory across domains. Adjacency matrix representations, graph connectivity patterns convert easily into square binary adjacency matrices with both row and column indices representing vertices. Ones signify direct vertex pair connections, while zeros indicate absence. Matrix symmetry thus captures undirected binding, while asymmetry encodes directed orientations. Higher values generalize simple binary edges for weighted networks. Sparse matrix storage techniques enable space efficiency. Parse and cycles walks trace trails through graphs sequentially visiting connected vertices. Closed walks revisiting start vertices called cycles PTs prove especially relevant as potential looping barriers to partitioning. The smallest cycles of odd length prevent clean bisection, complicating partitioning. Longer paths and cycles also frustrate dividing cohesion. Detecting cycles plays a key role in assessing graph structure. Connectivity and completeness. Graphs range from wholly disjoint to fully connected depending on edge density. Complete graphs link all vertex pairs, while disconnected clusters called components provide opposite extremes. Intermediate connectivity gradations hold interest. Specific numbers of internally disjoint paths indicate resilience against cuts by providing redundant backup routes. Bipartite and planar graphs. Bipartite graphs permit dividing vertices into two disjoint sets such that no within-set edges exist, only between set bindings. Complete connectivity creates regular biregular structures. Bipartiteness aids partitioning problems through inherent two-collocability. Planar graphs embeds vertices and edges without crossing lines, enabling diagrammatic two-dimensional depictions. Planarity offers intuitive visualization while imposing topological constraints. Many practical networks demonstrate such. Overall, graph terminology provides mathematical language for modeling and analyzing structure. Building fluency in associated descriptors aids applying graph theories toward partitioning objectives. Graph cuts. Partitioning graphs by severing edges amounts to bisecting connectivity to strategically decentralized components. Formalizing associated concepts sharpens the toolset for managing such divisive graph manipulation. Cut definitions and properties. A cut TO is separating set by partitions vertices by removing edges spanning designated parts. Cuts disconnect graphs through intentional incisions. The removed crossing edges define the cut set. Basic properties include counting cut size by associated edge numbers or sum of weights, if defined. Cut parity gives binary boss classifications. Cut enumeration across all bipartitions facilitates exhaustive graph analysis. Examples of cuts. Cuts appear throughout networks analysis applications. Dividing integrated circuits separates modules, clustering algorithms partition similarity graphs. Image segmentation detaches figures from backgrounds by discrete border cuts. Selecting boundary edges strategically when urgently cutting graphs makes associated metrics, including disruption minimization, and cluster coherence, maximization relevant optimization objectives. Minimum cuts versus maximum cuts. Unlike edge extremal problems seeking vertex joins to maximize connectivity through longest paths or maximum spanning trees, cuts conversely target edge removal towards separating components. Contrasting minimum and maximum variance gives dual problem pairs. For example, minimum cuts minimize severed edge counts to gently detach graph pieces. Maximum cuts instead maximize divides to comprehensively shatter global cohesion. Redundant edges complicate maximum cuts. Weighted graphs, capacities. Rather than simply counting edges uniformly, weighted valuations associate linearly with cuts too. Grouping financial transactions by dividing weighted flows models fraud detection. Network flow capacities provide weight upper bounds, limiting passing volumes. Overflow gets cut off by mine-cut max flow duality. Generalized edge values enrich cut problem expressiveness. Overall cuts discharge graphical bonds strategically through binary partitioning guided by associated objective principles. Cuts exhibit versatility across problem domains. The max cut problem. Maximum cut constitutes a pivotal graph partitioning optimization, problem seeking to maximally bisect vertices by removing the most crossing edges. Formulation flexibility allows custom-tuned applications. Formal definition. Given graph G and G with vertex set V and undirected edge, say, E are cut by partitions V into partite sets A and B by cutting edges in a spanning the two paths. The max cut problem seeks to maximize the cut size, the number of severed edges. Letting the denote the set of edges with one endpoint in A, another in B, the max cut value equals to T. Determining maximum cuts proves NP-hard as solution. Verification requires testing all T1 partition. Decision BS optimization forms. The decision variant asks whether graph G permits cuts with at least L edges for threshold L, whereas the optimization form directly seeks cuts maximizing the count of removed edges. Optimization better suits applications, measuring cuts having values beyond just feasibility. Note, however, that repeatedly solving decision versions across descending LA provides an optimization search framework. Applications. Circuit layout optimization leverages max cut to guide component placement, minimizing interconnected signal wire lengths. Solving associated graphs gives compact layout. Data clustering applications model similarity, relations between data points using fully connected edge weighted graphs. Max cut gives a balanced two-way split separating highly dissimilar groups. The max cut problem provides a versatile combinatorial optimization template for customized graph division analysis across application domains. Complexity of max cut. While graph cutting for partitioning graphs has intuitive appeal, associated computational challenges arise in practice. Formally establishing max cut problem complexity motivates approximation approaches with quantum speed-up potential. NP hardness proof sketch. A simple reduction from Boolean satisfiability proves max cut NP hard. Given formula phi E with clauses C mapping assignments to true or false, create graph G with vertices for Boolean variables x plus 1 per clause C and C. Add edges between complementary literals and from literals to their clause vertices. A cut assigning complementary literals across parts then satisfies clauses severed from false literal vertices. Maximizing satisfied clauses equals maximizing cut size, reducing SAT to max cut. A SAT is NP complete, max cut inherits NP hardness. Approximability results. Unlike arbitrary NP-hard problems, max cut permits efficient approximation within quantifiable guarantee ratios from the optimal. Gomans and Williamson devised an algorithm achieving 0.878 worst-case accuracy for general graphs. For degree 3 planar graphs, the max cut problem allows even better approximation. Combining algorithms enables approximation ratios exceeding 0.999, essentially solving such specialized instance. Implications for algorithms. The NP-hard complexity demotivates pursuing exact solutions as computation time increases exponentially with graph size. But approximation algorithms find useful cuts efficiently by allowing controlled optimality deviation while scaling. Quantum annealing methods leverage quantum effects like tunneling to traverse complex solution landscapes, aiming toward quality approximations. These bring novel techniques to approximating intractable problems, including max cut, with remarkable early success. So while finding absolute maximum cuts proves computationally intractable in general, approximation and quantum algorithms open productive pathways toward practical high-quality graph partitioning. Mathematical formulation. While graph cuts conceive naturally in concrete graphical terms, algebraic reformulation enables applying optimization machinery towards solving max cut instances algorithmically. We explore key mathematical components below. Binary variable representation. First, we associate each vertex V and V with binary decision variable XE taking value. 1 if V gets assigned to vertex subset A, and 0 if V falls under B. Vector X indicates partition membership completely. Since cut edges connect across A and B, edge EGIG, it crosses the cut partition if ZX makes U and V binary values central in counting cut edges algebraically. Surjective function encoding, summing binary products, Zixi over all edges aggregates, intersections between parts A and B. Each disconnected edge at Zix contributes 1 or 0, depending if UVE assignments differ or match. Maximizing the sum tracks, maximum edge cuts. Adding auxiliary quadratic terms penalizes imbalanced partitions. This gives a versatile algebraic formula for generalized graph partitioning, constraint specification. Requiring binaries XPAR. Requiring variable confinement naturally handles partition exclusivity. Additional balance constraints control lopsided cluster cardinalities based on application priorities, including fairness. Optimal partitioning gets configured flexibly by tailoring objectives and constraints mathematically. Algebraic modeling thus provides a versatile substrate for automated optimization. The Ising model. Originally conceived to model atomic magnetism, the Ising system, comprising discrete one-spins with nearest neighbor interactions, demonstrates deep connections with graph partitioning. Finding low-energy Ising states relates directly to max-cut. Spins configurations. Hamiltonian. The Ising model arranges spins as taking values 1 and 1 on graph vertices. Each configuration maps vertices to spin alignments. Spins interact locally, so total system energy depends on neighboring spin pairings to the Hamiltonian. Yes, H try. Summing over connected spin products. Ferromagnetic couplings G0 favor alignment, while antiferromagnetic G0 encourages opposites. External magnetic fields also influence alignment, connection with max-cut. Mapping binary graph partition membership onto one spins identifies pairwise spin products to CSJ as edge cut indicators, just as in the max-cut math formulation. Fixing ferromagnetic G1 makes the Hamiltonian track negatives of cut sizes. Thus, finding min H's in configurations equates directly to determining max-cut my partitions. Ground-excited states. Quantum mechanically, the lowest energy eigenstates have the greatest probability and stability. Such Ising ground states correspond then exactly to maximum cuts mathematically. Conversely, higher energy excited spin states relate to smaller cuts. Quantum annealing leverages quantum tunneling through excited barriers toward lowest valleys, probabilistically landing high quality approximate ground states. Ising model properties. Moving beyond the direct max cut mapping connection. Analyzing intrinsic Ising model qualities, including energetic spectra, thermal phase changes, and mean field approximations provides further insights into the associated rich physics with parallels across nature. Energy spectra. The energy spectrum characterizes the Hamiltonian's allowed eigenvalues and associated eigenvectors. Low-lying ground states have enhanced stability. The energy gap above ground levels signifies excitation difficulty. Graphs with easy bisection give Ising spectra with small gaps keeping ground, and excited mixes probabilistically accessible even at low temperatures during annealing. Hard partitions have wider gaps, blocking easy crossings. Phase transition behavior. Temperature adjustment traverses physical phases, transitions dramatically altering spin configuration tendencies. High temperatures randomize toward disorder. Cooling organizes magnetism or graph communities in a symmetry-breaking cascading cascade as structure forms. Identifying critical thresholds aids annealing schedules balancing energy and entropy for controlled descents toward structured partitioned low-energy ground states rather than trapped random cut randoms. Mean field theory. Local spin neighborhood influences complicate analysis. Mean field theory simplifies by approximating spin interactions as due to average external field effects from overall magnetization. Local fluctuations get replaced by average biasing. This facilitates mathematical progress at cost of discarding precious details. Advanced treatments reincorporate omitted correlations toward improving fidelity while retaining analytic traction. The versatility sustains broad applicability. Finding Ising ground states. Mapping MaxCut to Ising ground states reduced optimizing intractable graph partitioning to finding minimum energy spin configurations. However, associated non-convexity still challenges efficient solutions, classically and quantumly. Challenges from non-convexity. Unfortunately, Ising energy landscapes, demonstrating multiple uneven local minima frustrate gradient-based local search methods, converging only toward nearby rather than global bottoms. Non-convexity compounds, the original NP-hard MaxCut challenge. Neither local descent nor exhaustive search scale efficiently classically. Global optima remain elusive needles in overwhelming haystacked classical algorithms. Simulated annealing uses temperature-controlled randomness, allowing uphill escapes from local traps to explore broadly, but still suffers exponential blow-ups. Semi-definite programming relaxes into tractable convex search spaces at cost of precision. Approximation algorithms balance execution speed with solution quality guarantees. Greedy local choices stitch together good but suboptimal partitions. Algorithm portfolios combine complementary strengths. Quantum advantage. Quantum annealing leverages quantum tunneling to pass through barriers and sample from global optima vicinities probabilistically after sufficient annealing time. Home architecture rematerializes non-convexity. Whether quantum resources provably improve over classical methods remains hotly debated both theoretically and empirically. Early relative victories bode well, however, for quantum ascendancy in handling related machine learning combinatorics. So while non-convexity obstructs straightforward ground state solutions, quantum innovations pioneer pathways forward. Problem coding. Bridging the gap between conceptualizing models and programmable quantum hardware realizes their combined optimization potential. We explore key steps facilitating execution qubit mapping. Fundamentally, using spins map onto quantum bits with representing S-beam projections along the z-axis. Quits leverage equivalent vector spaces. Extending to multiple spins simply piles additional quotes. Straightforward translation from mathematical model to physical instantiation makes encoding Ising problems natural for quantum hardware architectures inherently operating on QUID-E state manipulations. Hamiltonian matrices codifying Ising model energetics into quantum Hamiltonian operators produces mathematical wrappers integrating the search objectives ready for quantum process. Sums of tensor products of Pauli-C matrices marked by interaction weights produce the physic encodings fed directly to available open source SDK, middleware stacking a top target quantum resources, parameter setting. Finalizing specifications, including annealing schedules, balancing exploration and exploitation, while mitigating environmental noise, requires empirical tuning guided by runtime performance data for feedback optimization, closing control loops adaptively toward precision solutions. Programming quantum systems for practical problem solving juxtaposes physical embeddedness against mathematical abstractions across hardware and software stacks toward practical hybrid collaborative problem solving. Ising model applications. Beyond abstract analysis, Ising models and their MaxCut connections empower problem solving across diverse applied domains by reducing complex optimizations to finding spin ground states. Both classical and quantum algorithms help tackle these practical challenges. Material science cosmology. Ising models directly represent magnetism within bulk matter. Predicting and designing new metamaterial properties reduces to configuring spins and couplings for desired macro characteristics. Similar physics even governs cosmic string networks and early universe genesis. Neuroscience. Deep learning replicating hierarchical connectivity via layered network topologies makes Ising annealing a leading quantum machine learning approach. Boltzmann efforts also model neuronal directions. Controllable modular structure promises scalable reasoning. Combinatorial optimization. Many constraint satisfaction and scheduling challenges reduced to evaluating exhaustive permutations. Masking unacceptable pairings converts satisfying assignments to ground states. Quantum optimization probabilistically samples quality solutions. So while foundational in statistical physics, Ising models provide bridges between microscopic descriptions and macroscopic behaviors across scientific disciplines through unifying complex system analysis via graph partitioning, binary optimization. Many practical optimization problems involve making yes, no, true, false, or zero, decisions choosing between discrete alternates rather than smoothly varying continuous parameters. Binary optimization provides tailored techniques for such problems, including quadratic unconstrained models. Binary variables in optimization. Discrete binary decision variables, so taking values 0 or 1 represent Boolean choices like selecting optional components in a system design or turning processes on or off when scheduling operations. They naturally capture true, false, or U. Specifying goals and constraints with binary variables allows formulating problems like scheduling, routing, and resource allocation while leveraging specialized solution methods for discrete optimization. Unconstrained versus constrained. A problem uses unconstrained binary optimization when the focus rests solely on an objective function rather than additional constraints. For example, maximizing profit by choosing manufacturing processes given fixed costs and profits per. Constrained problems add restrictions like resource capacities or budget limits that feasible solutions must satisfy. These complicate analysis but prove essential for practical feasibility. Relaxation approaches selectively drop burdensome constraints. Quadratic objective functions. Bit optimizing a function containing squared and cross terms of binary variables proves more expressive than linear functions for modeling complex interactions and trade-offs. This extends modeling capabilities significantly at the cost of increased analysis and solution difficulty. Overview of QUBO. The quadratic unconstrained binary optimization, or QUBO model, minimizes a quadratic objective function over binary variables without additional constraints. QUBO's flexibility and quantum computability has made it a focused starting point in discrete complex. So in summary, binary optimization provides a versatile framework for capturing true or false decisions, coupled with quantitative analysis for preferable outcomes. Both classical and quantum tools help navigate the resulting complex search spaces. Formal definition of QUBO. Moving beyond intuition to harness the power of quadratic unconstrained binary optimization requires precisely specifying mathematical properties, allowing algorithm analysis and application design. We explore core facets constituting QUBO's formal concept. Mathematical formulation. The standard QUBO model format minimizes an objective function, Q mapping binary string, inputs to numerical values, quantifying solution quality. Binary decision variables xr through xn get assembled into vectors x. QUIX suits quadratic functional forms containing squared and cross terms of components, and EJ with associated weights, KeyJ and encoding interdependencies. Linear and constant terms also contribute additively within minimization requirement. By definition, QUBO requires minimization of objective Q rather than maximization. Maximization problems convert through negation or subtracting Q from a suitable constant reversing ranking order. Minimization supports correspondence with ground state physics models used by quantum optimizers. It also matches conventions in adjacent discrete optimization fields. Sign flipping transforms alternate formulations. Binary requirement. Central to QUBO is restricting decision variables Z to binary 0, discrete values rather than continuous ranges. This constrains the search space to finite combinatorial possibilities, prudently bounded. Binary assumptions enable matching Boolean constraints intuitively. Two-value confinement and quadratic objectives distinguish QUBO from related nonlinear programs permitting richer variable types. Examples. Example QUBO applications include warehouse layout planning, network type diagram coloring, circuit fault diagnosis, and financial portfolio structuring. Variables represent decisions and objectives measure cost or dissatisfaction. QUBO's flexibility facilitates modeling discrete decisions problems with interdependent impacts and objectives for customized analysis across application domains. So in summary, Kubo provides a versatile framework for capturing combinatorial decisions coupled with quantitative analysis through tailored mathematical machinery toward desirable computational solutions. Flexibility of Kubo. A key strength of the quadratic unconstrained binary optimization framework lies in modeling flexibility, stemming from conceptual generality positioning Kubo as a versatile substructure amenable to customization across problem domains while retaining computational advantages. Expressiveness of framework. Despite ostensible simplicity, binary variables coupled to quadratic objective functions enable representing complex interdependencies like fixed costs, economies of scale, contention for shared resources, and nonlinear value interactions necessary for precise problem descriptions. Higher order contrasts and constraints convert into composite Kubo constructions. This facilitates accurately capturing intricate real-world relationships mathematically toward quantitatively managed decision-making. Range of applications. Diverse problems benefit from Kubo modeling, including warehouse layout planning, circuit fault diagnosis, financial portfolio structuring, image processing, scheduling, routing, resource allocation, and more. Seemingly disparate tasks share underlying logical structures mappable into graphical relationships or physical analogies captured through quadratic unary penalties and binary couplings. Kubo generalization and customizability empowers comparison to integer programming. Integer linear programs permute general discrete variables rather than just zero home. Binaries. Linearity also limits expressing higher order interactions compared to quadratic forms, but enhanced definition complexity sacrifices convexity, which eases analysis. Limitations of Kubo model. Requiring single objective function evaluations prevents capturing multivariate trade-off frontiers directly. Subsequent scalarization steps help reconcile vector-valued assessments. Strict unconstrained formulation also risks ignoring practical feasibility restrictions, necessitating indirect modeling contortions to embed constraints accompanying loss of clarity. But Kubo offers a versatile modeling foundation. So in summary, Kubo's combination of approachable structure and expressive agility suits decision optimization tasks across applications and feel through customizable modeling of intricacies. Ising models review originating in statistical physics modeling atomic magnetism. Ising models comprise local binary discrete spin variables coupled through weighted interactions. Finding ground states links directly to optimizing quadratic binaries. Reviewing core facets aids Kubo connections. Spins and configurations. Ising spins take discrete values 1 and 1, denoting atomic magnetic orientations. The spin configurations map each element in a set to spin alignments. Neighboring influence interdependence gives rise to system energy invoking statistical mechanics. Partial symmetry breaking seen in ferromagnetism corresponds to locally clustered spin alignments, representing community discovery in abstract network analysis using generalizations. Ising Hamiltonian. Configurational energetics quantify through the Ising Hamiltonian his summing weighted adjacent spin products, emphasizing aligned or opposing couplings, external magnetic field terms and G-spires, ground states balance interactions. Quantum mechanically, the Hamiltonian operator encodes system observables. Diagonalization reveals energy eigenstates. Lowest levels possess enhanced stability from resonance disinclining disruption. Ground-tighted state search. At low temperatures, physics gravitates toward ground states through thermal relaxation. Impatient optimization algorithms search directly for minima. Excited states access via thermal excitation or quantum tunneling through potential barriers. Connection with MaxCut. Casting graph bisection as an